God. So, guys, here we have Mr. Ranjit Bajaj, owner of Minerva Punjab Football Club, director of Minerva Academy. He played under 19 football. He's an ex roadie season one. He's a mountaineer, animal activist, and an Asian record holder. And also, lastly, a motivational speaker after all those accolades. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And finally, we're here.
It's a pleasure to be on. Finally talking to you and finally being on here. It's my pleasure.
Yep. And I'll be honest, like when I approached you, so my cousin is in your academy at the moment. She cleared her FUS written exam and she's preparing for SSB. And the first thing she said, Anshul Bhaiya, there is one person I would really love you to be having a podcast with. I'll share your number. Maybe he would be able to reply. Maybe he'd be busy, but you can take your shot. And then I messaged you and I got your reply probably at 3 a.m. in the night, which made
And
me
that's what,
realize.
see, I am able to only go onto my WhatsApp probably at 11. I come back from the academy right now, like half an hour ago or 1 hour ago. I came, I'd say 8:39. And
Right.
then a couple of hours off and watching some football, and then probably get to WhatsApp as like it's like email. Okay, so I take WhatsApp
Right.
as email. It's not like I keep on going on to it again and again.
Right, right, right.
And but I make sure I hope get back to everybody at least on time, because see, that's the difference which I want to have, especially with my students, which I have a very direct connect with,
Right.
and then the same time with the football audience, and that is very very important, because you see, the main thing is if you are in touch with the grassroots, you will do very well if you have a club or an academy where football is concerned. And at the same time, if you are no mentor, if you can't, you're not available 24/7 to your students.
Right.
Doesn't matter even 20 years.
Right. And the fact that I approached you and you were super quick to reply back because you understood the intent behind me approaching you, and that was to just have a conversation. And I'll be honest with you, you're not somebody who's a normal citizen. You're not somebody who just lives a life by the dogmatic way of living of society. You have your own thought. You approach life the way you want to approach it, and I've seen your, like, I swear to God, before even getting into who Mr. Ranjit Bajaj is, I went and researched you and I figured out there's a video of you doing the glacial ice thing at the smack dab right at the base camp of Mount Everest. And that is so intriguing. And how cold is the water? Is just my question. Like, what temperature is it?
Um, I went there for mountaineering. Okay, so I'm a scuba diver, but I'm not a swimmer. So when I'm saying
Right,
a swimmer, I mean, yeah, you go swimming in the swimming pool once in a while, but that you don't count yourself a swimmer because of that.
right,
So I was very lucky that at that time, I came to know when I was there. I was there for climbing a peak right next to Mount Everest called Mount Pomori, which is around 7,400 meters.
right,
Uh, we had some time off because there was an avalanche on our mountain and we couldn't climb for over 2 weeks. So when we had nothing else to do, we came to know that there was a Guinness record which happened a year back, and this guy flew in on a chopper, came here, swam the waters for 9 seconds, and it became a Guinness record for the highest altitude swim ever by
right,
a human being in the coldest waters.
right,
So I was really intrigued that why it was so difficult. Because see, I wouldn't even think of even taking one layer off. We're wearing 6 layers there, okay, because it's -20, -30.
yep,
So I wouldn't even think, nobody thinks of having baths and all there, because the moment you take the water out, it's frozen.
yep,
And the only way you can have water is if it's always boiling, and it's, under the water there's a there's a there's a live fire, and only that's the only way you can have. So there's no thinking of even going anywhere near water.
sure.
Uh, this guy came and did it for 9 seconds, and then he went and broke that record in 10 different places. He's got a program on Nat Geo called the Iceman. He swims in the coldest waters in the world.
Are you talking about this guy, Wim Hof?
Yes. So I don't know what his name is. I
Okay.
think that's the guy. He actually does that. He goes to the coldest places. He's done it in the Arctic and Antarctic, but this was his first swim.
Wow, I didn't
And
know that.
being also having no oxygen in the area, and the nearest medical help being 4 days walk. Why? Because hardly he got his own chopper from Kathmandu. Otherwise, choppers don't risk them flying so high.
Sure.
So if something happens, you're screwed, and nobody want to take the risk. But मैं ऐसा हूँ कि जो गर्मी, I mean, I'm talking about June, July in Chandigarh,
Yeah.
it's 48, 49 degrees.
Yeah.
I still don't have a bath with cold water, man. I still use warm water. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
But I knew that that guy did it. And apparently you can go into hypothermic shock. And why? Because your blood is at 37 degrees and the water is freezing. And if your blood freezes, the
Right.
oxygen supply to the brain freezes and you start going into coma. But
Yep.
see, the whole thing is somebody proved that it can be done. And if it can be done by a Britisher or whoever he was, it can be done by an Indian.
Right.
And yes, there was a moment of doubt, but you fight through it. And when you got, when you actually believe in yourself, there's very, very little you can't do. I didn't do it for 9, I did it for 11 seconds.
Right.
And one thing that, I mean, I'm not a swimmer, and I will never even do it again for $1,000,000 also. Bloody fucking cold, and I was squeezing my ass off, and the team had already prepared heaters all over, and immediately they put me in a blanket and put me in heaters so that I don't go into hypothermic shock.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was that once you do that, you know that you can achieve anything in life. That's why, before this interview started, that I told you that this is just the beginning of the life. I mean,
Yep.
today is the first day for the rest of my life. So I'm born today. So it's
Yeah.
not even what happened last. So I'm born today.
You're the youngest you're ever gonna be in your life today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I have to be better than what I was yesterday. Otherwise, I'm not living. I'm just surviving.
Yep.
Because then I'm just a boge to the world and I'm just eating oxygen and doing nothing with it. So as long as I'm better than what I was yesterday, never giving up and being my only competition, that means I need to be better than who I was and no
Correct.
one else. I'm doing pretty okay.
That's awesome. And just talking about, like that guy Wim Hof, I'd be honest with you, I had no idea that guy is Wim Hof because maybe you took a name, you said Tom Pugh or somebody's name in
Interview
it.
or something like that, yeah.
Tim Pugh.
Interview.
And I've been actually following Iceman, the quote unquote
Yeah,
Wim Hof
yeah,
guy.
that's the guy I'm talking about. He's got a program on Night Geo. It's the same guy.
Yep. And I've actually, for the last 4 years, for entire winters in Delhi, been taking shower with cold water and having the cold therapy early in the morning just to feel super active
See,
for the
bro, you need
pineal
to be
gland.
brave only then. See, you have to be brave only during the shower, but then you can call yourself brave for the whole day. You
Yep.
understand?
Yep. If you endure
You don't
the
need to be
hardest
brave for
part
the
of the
rest
day.
of the day. Exactly. It's just that moment you need to get over.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you see, if you can do that on a daily basis and you can prove to yourself, that's the example you set to do anything that day. I
Sure.
mean, this is nothing. I just fucking had a cool shower and it's 22 degrees or 0 degrees outside.
Right, right, right. But the fact that you still don't like cold showers, but you were able to do that, and subconsciously, I am capable of that, but I don't have to prove myself or have the discomfort daily. But you do
Exactly.
need these achievements somewhere down the line to tell yourself that, man, I am somebody. I can
Yeah.
do
No,
this.
I am alive. I'm alive
Yeah.
because I'm proving it to myself every single day.
Yep.
And you can only prove you're alive because then you have to better yourself. Because
Yep.
if you've already done something and then you're doing the same thing every day, that means, I mean, I'm talking about personal betterment is concerned. You're doing the same thing every day,
Right.
then you're not proving anything to yourself. It's something which you've already proven to yourself daily.
Right. Right.
You're doing something different or going up. See, I believe that if you're in your comfort zone, you're not growing.
Right.
You only grow outside your comfort zone. So when you're not feeling comfortable, whenever, I mean, that's the way you think about it. That if I'm not feeling comfortable right now, it's good because then I'm doing something which I'm not used to. And that means I'm getting used to something which I'm not used to. Simple.
Sure.
That means I'm
Sure.
getting better. And
And
if
and
I'm in the comfort zone, that
yeah.
means, I mean, I'm sitting in my pajamas watching TV and not doing anything, lazing around. That's my comfort zone.
Yep.
And I'm not growing actually at all.
Yep.
But
Yep.
at the same time, I'm sitting in my pajamas and I'm doing push-ups or I'm doing pull-ups or I'm doing I'm at least going a little bit.
Yep. Yep.
So if I'm again choices you make. So I'm watching TV and I'm not saying that I mean 24 hours you keep on buddy watching informative or knowledge programs. I'm just saying you have a choice. And you
Yeah.
are flipping channels. It's not that you're watching a program. You're flipping channels. You can watch anything which is interesting. Then if you go and watch what's happening around the world, international news, or if you go and watch Nat Geo, or if you go and watch Discovery, and you start learning something and improve yourself, then you're just sitting there and you're actually improving. So you have to look at every maximum number of moments in your day where you can think of yourself, okay, I'm doing something which is making me better. People keep on forgetting that. See, they are living their life so normally and they think, okay, this is the time to relax, man. Okay, fine, relax, but make yourself better while
Right.
doing that. Tomorrow
Right.
you are better than what you were yesterday, even though you were relaxing.
Right, right. And I believe like when we do that, like there has to be a paradigm shift in perspective when we say, man, I've had a hard day, but I need to relax. But even you could change your perspective of entertainment. You could change your habits to a point where your entertainment becomes a source of productivity. Even when you're in your pajamas and watching television, you could actually put on a TED
Exactly,
talk.
exactly. Hit the nail on the head, man.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what I'm saying. So productivity even means like people have started now doing, I mean, it's got on abroad. People keep on complaining that we don't have time to work, but they've started having walk desks. That means they have a bloody walker, and while they are working under the desk, the walker keeps on walking and they're walking. They're never sitting. Or it's a standing desk. They're never sitting. They're just standing and working.
That's a
So
good
you've seen
idea.
that. Yeah. So instead of taking those breaks, you have to say that, okay, fine, for the next half an hour while I'm doing these files or while I'm on the laptop, while doing
Right,
that, or while I'm even surfing the net, I'll do 10 crunches while surfing
right,
the net.
right,
And
right, right.
you've actually used that time well. In
Yep.
fact, if you are actually doing exercise and you start doing the things which you want to laze around while doing your exercise, then oh my god, that becomes perfect. And I started doing that. I mean, I started watching all the stupid programs which used to, you'd have this deep filter kind of programs, which don't make any sense. I mean, all these reality shows are bullshit. Or
Do you watch any of them though? Any of these bullshit reality
no,
shows?
not the Indian ones at all.
But you were
But
part of one Indian one, like Roadies back in the
I
day.
was, I was see at that time it was India's first reality show.
Right.
In fact, it was not. It was supposed to be an adventure reality show,
Yep.
but even nobody knew what a reality show was. The
Right.
thing which attracted me to it was that we'll have. I'll be going. I was what 23, 24. I'll have a girl sitting on my back, and we'll be going for a drive, which is all paid for by this company.
Yeah.
And if I complete that ride, which is basically a free holiday for 40 days, from Chennai to Chell, I'll get a free bike. I say, wow, what a very great deal. And it was all about adventure. That means you do your tasks, you get food. So it was never, and it never felt like a reality show in the first thing. They've really changed it to now, Kabhi Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Bana Di. It's like,
Yep. Yep.
totally,
Yep. A little more
yeah,
TRP base, a little more drama, a little more abuses.
totally commercialized the shit out of it, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a great experience then also. But
Sure.
when you see these things to deculture, I mean, defilter your mind or just have nothing going on, you don't want to think about anything. And imagine at the same time you're also working out. It's not going to that you're not going to understand what's going on TV, man. You're still going to be understanding. It's going to be crap. Still going to be crap, and you're still going to be understanding crap. At the
Right.
same time, getting better.
Right.
And if they can do that, they'll never feel. They always feel. I feel guilty after watching fucking 45 minutes of crap.
Yep.
Every time I feel guilty, man.
But if you
Oh my god.
compartmentalize it with something,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like your
yeah.
workout.
Sometimes it's that in my time, I could have really look at the amount of work I have, and I could
Yep.
have really used my time better. I'm such an
Yep.
idiot. But at the
Yeah.
same time, if I'm doing that and working out, brilliant.
Right, right. So, Mr.
Wow.
Rashid, my question is like, I am somebody, okay, and I've had like a very super, I've had phases of unproductivity when I was in college, and then I became super productive human being. I said, all right, I'm going to time my days because I have 24 hours and Ambani has 24 hours, or David Goggins or Cameroon Haynes or any of those guys have 24 hours. If I just manage that and get 1% better every day, and that's going to have a compounding effect, slow and steady, slow and steady. So
You're so right. See, when I tell people that you have to go to compete with yourself, they keep on telling me, "Sir, I want to be world champion. What are you talking about? I want to be world champion." But they don't
yeah,
realize even if you want to be world champion, their only competition is them. For
it's them.
example, uh, say you want to be sports. Okay, you want to be the fastest man in the world. Sir, I want to be the fastest man. Okay,
Yeah,
so who's the fastest man? Is Usain Bolt. Okay, what's his timing? And okay, he does 900 meters in around 9.58 or whatever.
right.
So you cannot going to beat 9.58 tomorrow. First, you will see where you stand and you will time yourself. Okay, I timed myself at 11.5, which is bloody good. Okay, great. But day after tomorrow, you still not beat 9.58. You'll beat 11.5. And it will be 11.49, 11.48, 11.47. If you are better than what you were yesterday on a daily basis,
Right,
one day you will beat Usain Bolt. No one can stop you.
right,
As long as you're better than what you were, every day you will be world champion. That's what world champions do. They compete with themselves on a daily basis.
Right.
So if I say, okay, start doing 100 sit-ups a day, you say, fucking crazy, man. What are you doing? I can't do that. But if I say, okay, do 10 today, you say, okay, fine. 11 tomorrow. Yeah, okay. 12 day after tomorrow. Because but I won't ask you today. I'll say tomorrow 11, when you're doing 11, can you do 12 tomorrow? You'll say, yeah, I can do 12 tomorrow. And then if by the end of the month you're doing 40, and by the end of 3 months you're doing 100, 110.
Right.
But if you say I want to do 110 right now, no. But 110 bloody push-ups in just 3 months of work. That means in 1 year you can be doing 330 push-ups for one set.
Right.
And
Right.
you can. Why? Because you're just increasing it by this much every day.
Right.
This much.
Right. So I want to ask you,
So
like, this kind of philosophy of life that you live by, and I believe I personally have read this. I've seen people in social media. I've seen my dad. He was a colonel in the army. He was super disciplined guy. Always woke up early. And before I say that, he was also a part of Minerva Academy NDA 64 in 1980s. So he was,
oh,
yep,
80s. Bloody hell. Okay,
in
brilliant,
80s.
man. 40 years ago.
40,
41.
41 years ago, and he was just telling me that he's super excited for that I'm having a podcast with the academy that it gave him a fighting chance to get
Yeah,
into.
so he was trained by my grandfather, Colonel Deol. And so
Yep,
you can tell him that the interview was Colonel Deol's grandson.
yep, and he kind of said that I know who you're interviewing. Maybe he has some faint idea because he has an army group and a lot of people pass out from the academy, so they know the
Yep.
family well at least. But coming back to the point of this philosophy, did you read this in a book, or did you have a mentor, or did
No,
you
see,
experience
this
this?
is being honest with you. This is all self-learned because the
Right,
kind of experiences I've had already in life, people probably have in 4 lifetimes.
right,
So, I mean, it's just me sitting in a t-shirt and telling you these things, and the same things can be said by some baba or some sadhu because
right,
they've actually learned the life because they've actually seen all those things happen. See, you when you experience everything or almost everything there is to experience in a very short period of time, then you do. People say you look at it from the philosophical side of view, but it's not. It's logical. It's not
right,
philosophical. It's logical. It
right,
what works,
right,
and everyone gets there, but some people get there earlier. And I'm not saying I've got there. I'm saying I've got a long way to go.
right,
I've done what people probably would have got at 70. I'm already at 40, and I'm
right,
now 42. And I probably can do the obstacles faster than any of the students who are there in the academy right now
right,
because I don't ever tell myself that I'm 42.
right.
If my body comes to know that I'm 42, it'll fucking give up.
I don't
Because
I don't
why?
think you look 42.
Yeah, bro. Because if the brain is conditioned that everyone keeps on telling you at 42 you can't be fucking really doing obstacles with the armed forces do, and
Right,
especially you can't be climbing ropes and you can't be doing the Burma Bridge and the monkey crawl and all those things.
right,
But my body doesn't think so, and I do it on a daily basis again. So it's what you tell yourself, and these notions of being too old for anything, too late to start, ये बात यार I wish I had done this earlier. These are all things created by your own brain to make it easier for yourself to give up.
right, right,
Whereas if today is the first day for the rest of your life, that means you're born today, you can fucking do anything in your life.
right.
And that's
Yep,
been proven. See, if there was never a guy who's 45 who's played in the Premier League in football or played first class cricket at 45 or been a nuclear scientist starting at 45. I mean, everything has been proven because we've got so much of history behind us.
right,
So that's what it took for me to believe proof. But
right.
we've got people in our humans who've never had any proof. I mean, there was some idiot was sitting in 1900s, man, and रात को वो बैठ के बाहर दारू पी रहे थे, 4-5 थे.
Yeah,
उनमें से साले एक बेवड़े ने कहा देख के मून को यार, मून यार. तो बाकी कहते हाँ साले तो मून. उसको वो कहता यार लेट्स गो टू मून यार. सारे सारे साला बेवड़ा. Fucking man went to moon because some Bevda in 1900s looked at the moon and said, let's go to the moon, man.
right.
So we need more Bevdas like that. We need people to
Think bigger.
dream huge. Yeah, dream huge. And it's not just about dreaming, man. You have to put, if you
Effort.
dream something, and yeah, you put all your life's efforts and goals towards it. I mean, everything you have put towards it. And let yourself fail. Doesn't matter. Because if your fucking aim is so high, and even if you fail, you'll be somewhere near that aim, which will be pretty high.
Right,
But we have a habit of trying to say, okay, fine, what is the achievable goal? And let's try to aim for the achievable goal. If you fucking miss that goal, you'll be paid ka aim hai. And paid pe tange ho if you miss the aim. Whereas if you aim for the sun, you'll be in the stars, even if you
Right.
miss.
Right.
So it's just about, again, it's about how you look at it.
Correct. And I believe like there are so many factors to achieving that objective, like setting up smaller goals and daily tasks, like achievable, tangible tasks to achieving that. And also I believe
So
factors
the
like
achievable task, no, sorry to interrupt, achievable task to achieve the impossible.
right.
Yes, but only by achievable tasks. You can't achieve the impossible by trying to go straight for the impossible.
Right, right. And when I was talking about the parameters, like a person, if you think your body as a machine, as like a supercar, you need to oil it well. You need to clean it. You need to take right nutrition, right sleep, right frame of mindset, like probably get in a little bit of 20-minute meditation each day or every alternate day.
It's
Exercise.
a science. It's a science, bro.
Yeah, it is
And
complete science.
see, let me tell you, I believe in doctors. Obviously, I believe in medicine.
Right.
But again, I believe I'm not. I'm not saying that I know more than the doctors, but I know my body more than any doctor knows my body right now.
Correct.
Because unless I tell the doctor what is wrong with me, he'll never come to me. Even
Yep.
you'll still have to go and tell your symptoms to a doctor.
Correct.
Then he'll know. But
Correct.
you don't have to tell yourself symptoms, you already have the symptoms. So
Right.
you are again your best judge of your health. So
Right.
your body tells you, bro, and you just got to learn to listen to it. Your body tells you whether you are getting fat, okay, and you just ignore it. And your body tells you that you're not fit. One day you run and you start huffing and puffing after some time, and which you've not done earlier. Your
Right.
body's told you that, but you just forget it, and then you move on to the next day without doing anything about it.
Right.
If you learn to listen to your body, you will
Right.
go really far. For example, you have a bad stomach and you don't think anything about it. Whereas you should have thought about what you had for dinner or breakfast and what caused it. And it's not agreeing with your body, but you still go and have it again. 50% or 30% people in India are lactose intolerant. I'm
Right.
not, I'm just giving an example.
Right.
So I think it's a huge thing. If people are lactose intolerant and they keep on having milk, it's really screwing up your body.
Correct.
And people just in India, nobody's even known of this disease. I mean, knows this. Same with nowadays, people don't think about mental health as health. They
Yep.
think of it probably trying to hide it as like it's what earlier used to be about alcohol or drug addiction. That oh my God, he's drug addict, hide it, hide it. Whereas
Yeah.
it's not his fault. It's the
It's a
fucking drug.
taboo in
He's a victim.
society.
Yeah, he's a victim. Same way alcohol, he's a victim. Alcoholics Anonymous, that's why it's there. You have to uh, you have to think of all this in a very, very, when you look at it from a very view of trying to help the person. And if you give a person a chance to improve, he'll definitely improve. But you've got to show it to him, you've got to prove it to him. So when these guys come to our academy, the Armed Forces Academy, we tell them on day one, we'll prove to you that you will be better than what you were yesterday on a daily basis. But you're not going to become world champions by doing that. The ones who are going to become world champions are the ones who get into a habit of being better than what you were yesterday.
And
If
do
you
it every
listen to
day.
your body every single day, yeah, every single day, if you listen to your body, you never give up and you're better than what you were yesterday, you'll always be taking care. For example, you have to be able to sleep minimum. You can't think that I'm Superman
Yep.
and I'll be able to sleep for 4 hours when you know the science says that unless you sleep, it's not about getting rest, man. It's about regeneration. It's about regeneration of the cells. It's about the regeneration of the brain cells. It's about regeneration of the blood and everything. And
Right.
if you don't do that, you will get problems. And the problem will not be only, okay, I'm young man, I'll be able to handle it. Yes, you'll be able to handle it, but the problem will not be there. They'll be inside somewhere, inside your body. You'll probably get a disease or whatever.
Right.
So all the 90% of diseases, bro, are proven they're all stress related diseases
Correct.
and or diet related diseases. So it's either bloody your diet, which is making you fat and is weight, or is stress. So it's
Correct.
heart or diabetes or cancer, all these things.
Right.
So if you're able to listen to yourself and you're fit and you know that at this age, I'm exactly what I was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, if not better, if at least I'm able at that age, you're supposed to make sure that you can't go worse than this because you will stay after the age of 35. If you keep on staying fit, you stay there and you can stay there for a long time. And it's
Right.
been proven.
Right. Correct.
But if you give up, you'll keep on going down. But there's no excuse before 35.
Correct.
Physically, I'm talking about.
Sure.
Physically, before 35, you have to be better than what you were yesterday. Otherwise, you're not living, man. You're just surviving.
Correct.
Then, so physically and mentally before 35, but after 35, you have to do it mentally. Otherwise, you'll be left behind. When people say that, the new generation has come in, the new generation has come in when? They've come in while you were still alive. So they have learned the same things which were still available to learn as kids. So you could have fucking got off your ass and learned them before they could have learned them and been the new generation yourself.
Right.
So you didn't update yourself, you didn't upgrade yourself. That's why you lost out. So for example, all the new kids right now who think, oh my God, they are the shit. And why? Because all the oldies are now going to get out of a job because the kind of things they know to do, the coding and being fucking engineers and all the stuff
Technology,
is
innovation.
not,
Yeah.
in 10 years, you'll be outdated if you are not better than what you were yesterday as well. In
Right.
10 years, you'll be oldies.
Right.
So it goes throughout the spectrum. That means mentally, physically, and upgrading yourself all the time. Doesn't matter who you are. As a
Right.
doctor, if you don't study on the latest techniques, nobody will go to you in 10 years because what you are doing is outdated. Same
Right.
with the dentist. Same with the accountant, because there'll be new softwares coming up to do what you are doing within 1 second, which you're taking 10 hours to do.
Right. And that happens because you get comfortable in your job and you're comfortable in your paycheck and you say,
Comfort zone.
comfort zone, and you got to push yourself out there. And I see it exactly when you say it as survival of the fittest theory. You're in the food chain, and every day there are two options. Lion goes out to eat, and the deer goes out to get saved, like preserve itself.
See, and I totally believe what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right.
Earlier I used to think all these things are bullshit. All these sayings are there just to pump all of us up when we are kids and
Right.
all.
Right.
I've never found of a saying or a proverb being proved wrong. So when they say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, it basically means that if it's not killed you and you're still alive, trust me, you've learned something.
Yep. Yep.
And the chances of it killing you again have become that much lesser because trust me, you're not a novice at that thing trying to kill you now. So you're
Yep.
better.
Your
So
body adapts to it.
every time you survive, you get better and better and better. So if it doesn't
Sure.
kill you, it makes you stronger.
Yeah, just like your example, like when you
For
did that.
example, COVID. For COVID, it doesn't kill you. You've got the antibodies and you're stronger and it will not give it to you again.
Right, right. And that's why I have this narrative of maybe not going with the vaccination is because I can get that immune system stronger. And if I can generate that naturally, I don't need a vaccine that's like a cushion for me, It's making it easier for me to fight those antiviruses. I don't need
I
that.
would say the vaccine is really, really important for the whole people who are not able to file it.
Right,
And
right.
if we don't have any underlying comorbidities, I've never heard of anyone just conking off unless he has an underlying comorbidity.
Like
And if you're
diabetes or something like that.
diabetes, heart problem, whatever, man, there has to be some disease which can get worse.
Right, right. And
Otherwise, humans are well equipped to fight. Especially, see, I think,
correct.
my view, in India, we are used to living in much, not that hygienic standards. I think that's got a lot to do with it, that we are able to take off. And the same with China, the same with all these. See, for some reason, Thailand, Indonesia, us, Pakistan, Bangladesh,
Cambodia, yeah.
all the dirty countries. I mean, it's not dirty. I mean, people who live
Developing
in dirt.
nations, developing nations.
Yeah, no, people who live in dirt. So I believe that it's kind of that's the way of life. If, for example, and I think that's the way to do it to survive in the future. Because
Right,
you can't be that weak that a fucking bloody virus can take you out. But if you're
right,
living with a virus every single day, it can't take you out. You
right,
understand?
right.
So, for example, these people in the West, they have boiled water, they have boiled everything, sanitized, sterilized. Oh my God. And they have a flu season. Okay, I didn't even know that they had a fucking season called the flu season.
Correct.
And bloody millions conk off every year because they get vaccinations for the flu. We get a flu, we don't even mind, man. We are continuing with our bloody daily lives. It doesn't matter क्या बुखार है, यार क्रोसिन खा ले, ठीक है यार, okay done.
Ice
And
cream
that's a
खा
flu.
ले.
क्या flu हो गया, अच्छा क्या बुखार हो गया, कुछ नहीं होता, ठीक है.
कोई
That's
चाय
normal.
चाय पी ले जाके.
हाँ चाय पी ले, अदरक पाके चाय पी ले. It's normal. So
Yeah.
that's why we have all the Indians not wanting to take vaccines because we see that we've dealt with worse things in life. For example, malaria is much worse than this. and I would actually say diarrhea, the severe forms of diarrhea, which people kill people, is worse than this,
Right.
because that can actually kill you there and then if you get it.
Right.
So I am totally in your thing that if you actually keep your precautions, and unless and until I think the vaccines for me approved for over 2 years, 3 years, and being totally effective, because the speed which they've come up, these
Right.
vaccines have come up,
Right.
is really, really not. I mean, I don't want to be one of the Trump supporters and saying I'm not going to have vaccines.
Right.
See, I'll have all the vaccines which have taken 5 to 7 years of research. We put them all in, man. Jab them in,
Right. We don't
because
have
if you
clinical studies. We don't
yeah,
have like
man.
what
Because
kind of
see,
side
the
effects they have.
point is that the side effects come after 1 or 2 years, man, or 3 years.
Or maybe 10 years
So
with reproductive issues, your
yeah,
genetic
exactly.
modification on your babies have two
So
heads, you know.
now you're scaring me even more, man.
I'm just saying, like,
No,
Ranjit sir, you
I
know, like
actually think like that, bro,
back in,
but I don't want to be a the doomsayer of doom. And
yeah,
I support all vaccines. I am being vaccinated myself as a baby, and I think, by the way, BCG vaccine is one of the vaccines which probably has saved
immune,
all the Indians.
yep,
I
immune,
think so.
yep, yep.
They did a study, and a
World
study
Bank
that
has a study too. Yep.
yeah, and if that has happened, then it's a great thing. So and on top of that, we Indians also have a tendency of developing a lot of immunity to diseases very fast, and I think that's what's happened, and that's why there's no second wave, because before we came to know it, people just saying the numbers are
Right.
the ones who got tested. I
Right.
believe that I think 60% people have already got it,
Right.
and you have to see the deaths which have come in, which are more than last year. That's not what we are doing. We should compare them. And you'll
Right.
see that there's a big difference, more than
Right.
the number of people who died. But
Right.
still, I really think the numbers you're coming in can't be fudged. I think it's on the way down, and really hope the second wave never comes, because if the second wave comes, we are screwed, man.
Yeah.
If the way it's
Yeah.
happening there, the size it happens here, it's
Sure.
going to be like a million cases a day or something, because the
Correct.
US was having 300,000 cases a day.
Right, right, right. And I think like we have to subject ourselves to like adversity, like you said, not just with viruses, with something so that you get stronger with it. And even in
Bro,
survival of the fittest theory, so like, there if there was something that was obsolete, like our appendix, we didn't use it, it got obsolete. Same way they're saying like even our eyesight, it came because there was a reaction happening for so many millennials that we got our eyesight because of that one virus. So we're constantly evolving with the effect of these viruses, and if we constantly try to
exactly.
avoid them with sanitizers, we're getting
Bro,
soft.
we are becoming stronger.
Right.
See, for example, all these viruses are mutations of viruses, other viruses.
Correct.
All, okay? They come, keep on mutating. So maybe this virus was meant to make us a little bit stronger for the next virus which is going to come. The ones probably who have developed their own immunity will be able to handle it much better than the ones who just got vaccinated and have no self immunity. I
Right.
mean, I really think that nature has its way, and that's what I mean. Unless it's a way of saving the planet, and you see that it's a killer disease, everyone's
Yeah.
dying. I
Yeah.
believe that okay, fine, you do these emergency vaccinations, but I still believe it's been too fast. All the vaccinations have been approved are too fast, and
Right.
even the phase 3 trials studies have not been published completely. And I would actually like them to forget the phase 3 trials. I would like a year or 2 years of waiting and results to see
Sure.
what's happening.
Sure. It's good that it's still voluntary, and I believe like I have an example of the Coca-Cola company. When it came, it had a little bit of cocaine in it in 1920s, and it wasn't checked for like so many years, and everybody loved
No,
drinking Coke and got addicted to it.
no
And
wonder. No wonder everybody loved drinking Coke. Yeah.
everybody loves drinking Coke, and there was cocaine,
That
literal
means,
cocaine in it.
bro, but see what happened was, I think that got them, the first addictions happened and they got them addicted to Coke. That's why
Right.
the cola, I mean, otherwise, if you look at it, the flavor is like, I mean, there's nothing like that in the natural world,
No.
but somehow it does really well.
Yeah.
Okay, same thing with this. This is a really good example you've come up with, man. They've been putting this stuff in other stuff as well. Like Coke used to be used for even in dentist medicines, and it used to be used for uh,
Cold and cough.
yeah, I mean for everything.
Sigmund
So
Freud used to snort cocaine just to get over his cough back in 18th century. They had no study for it, and in 21st century, it became like a huge addiction problem in America and around the
and
globe.
not only that, bro, mercury used to be given to make people okay with for normal diseases. And now if you give mercury, it's like killing somebody.
Right,
And
right.
kings and queens have died of mercury poisoning because I think what was the disease? There was one disease which they thought they could put right by mercury, and they kept on feeding the person's mercury.
Hmm.
And
I'm
my
unaware of it.
God, so see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to research that up.
We're gonna do that. Yeah. So there's also an example of like America when Vietnam War happened. They sent all of their soldiers with like heroin and morphine shots to just get them okay in that kind of area. And later when they came back, they were hooked to heroin. They did not
Yeah,
study it. Somebody came up in a lab and said, "Okay, if you use that, you're not gonna miss your home back in America. So use that while you're fighting the Vietnamese." And everybody
yeah.
got hooked. You know, they were
And the same
renting.
thing. So they were doing the same thing. They were trying to experiment on soldiers with LSD,
Right,
and the same thing was happening. It happens now with ISIS, with the ISIS drug, which is tramadol, and which is just basically a mind number or a painkiller. And
right,
the same thing was happening in Afghanistan with opium, which is a
right,
theme.
right,
So these things have been going on, and not only that, the point is, see, the point is that unless and until we have the medical community has to stand behind it because it's an emergency and everyone's looking at them.
right,
But what I find surprising is that no one has actually said it, that it's nothing to do with the trials. It's also about the side effects afterwards. Yes, the trials have had no effects. Yeah, very good. Everything has gone great. But what about the effects after 1 year, 3 years, 5 years?
correct. We don't have good
Nobody,
longevity
yeah,
in study.
yeah, we are just 70, 80 years old, man. That's our I mean, time length in the planet.
Right.
So, if you're going to give something which is going to give us actually a disease or give us antibodies of a disease which can kill us later, maybe it kills us after 5 years. And
Yep.
so
And
we have to look at it.
sure, and I'm very skeptical of all these RNA medicines which affect your molecule that actually procreates life. It's your DNA and your RNA. Those are the only two things that has your ancestral DNA and all the information
See,
of.
whatever has to be given with enough publication of data,
Right,
and so the public can make a decision on their own and not just follow the medical advice because the government is telling you to do so. Nowadays, you can see the government tells us to do a lot of stuff everywhere, and nobody believes the government anywhere in any place. I'm not
right.
talking India, I'm talking any country.
Anywhere, and
So,
yeah, and it's
but
pretty scary. Like
we,
even in
we
Spain, what
need
they're
data.
doing in this in
Yeah,
Spain, sir, in Spain, what they're saying is somebody who does not take the vaccine, we're gonna
it's
maintain a
going to be on
registry of
a,
you.
going
And
to
I'm
be
like,
registered.
that is it's supposed to be
That's
voluntary,
it.
right?
Saying you have to have it. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think they're going to do that because the number of people you can see in India. I'm talking about this is the healthline workers now.
right,
Efficacy is not about 50, 60%. So the general population is watching this. That they're saying that the efficacy of the frontline workers, that means the health workers, who are supposed to know the maximum of this disease,
right.
they are 50-50 on it. So the population will be pretty 80-20 to it or 70-30 to it.
Correct, correct, right. So just talking about your life, what does a normal day in the life of Mr. Rajit Bajaj look like? Like what time do you wake up? How much workout do you put in? How much sleep do you get with all the crazy schedule that you have?
It's really tough, bro. But being honest with you, I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
Right,
Especially, see, I've had my time in the corporate world. I was there for over 10 years
right.
and I made a lot of money, but I hated every second of it. And I would never go back to it ever, man. I would like rather shoot myself than go
Right,
back to the corporate world.
right,
Um, and after that, since the time I've been living on by my morals, that means my entire life depends on my ethics and my morals. So all my decisions are based on that. I'm a very, very happy person. So I think that's got a lot to do with me being very stress free and being very take life as it comes because I have all the answers ready with me
right,
because they are based by a set of rules which cannot
right,
change.
right,
So there's
right.
nothing to decide.
Yeah,
Decision making will become really easy for me.
right,
So getting up in the morning depends on if there's a class in Minerva. I'll be there in the academy at 6 a.m. Or there's a football session, which is 3 times out of every 7 days. So that's 9 times out of every in a month. I'm there at 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm
right,
there till 11. Come back home for lunch. Sleep a couple of hours because I won't be able to sleep at night. I get only 4 5 hours at night. Sleep a
right,
couple of hours, then go back to Minerva at 3. I'm there till 9 p.m. every day.
right,
Then come back home, watch some TV, do some emails, do some WhatsApp, and then watch some more TV and go to sleep while watching TV. Then get up in the morning and do the same thing all over again.
Right.
But when I go to Minerva, so we've got an Armed Forces Academy there, which is training the future of the Indian Armed Forces.
Yeah.
Then we've got an animal shelter called Paws, where we take care of abandoned dogs or hurt dogs. Then we've got the written examination center, where again armed forces written exams are prepared for. Then we've got a football club and academy, which is doing really well. We are the state and national champions in 13, 15, and 18. And
Yep.
we have probably produced 50% of the players for the country in the last 5 years, especially in the junior age groups. And we won every title there is to win. Then also Cricket Academy, where a lot of good players are coming out, like Abhishek and Shubman Gill, which are the latest products. Shubman has done very well, made us all very proud.
Right.
Before that, all these boys like Manan Vora, Siddharth Kaul, all these IPL players have also been from there. So it keeps me really, really busy making sure that everything is running smoothly and properly. And it
Right.
takes a lot because I like to go into the finer details. I think the devil is in the details.
Right. 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 I understand. It's just crazy, like I see somebody in you who's breaking Wim Hof's record, and then somebody who is an unsung hero. You're trying getting the groundwork for all of these guys and building them from scratch. And those guys are going ahead in life and making bigger things like IPL, and even army officers, Air Force officers. My cousin, even my dad was, because of your family's work, he's actually served the nation. And I believe like you're the likes of Milan Soman and all of those guys have actually gotten the limelight, but you prefer to stay under the limelight, just putting in your hustle right there, and maybe not for the
Totally.
fame.
So I was in the limelight for all the wrong reasons, and then I promised myself that I don't want to be in the limelight, right or wrong reasons ever.
Right,
That's
right.
why when people keep on telling me to get into politics, I said no. That's the last thing I want to do,
Sure.
because that is not possible. If you have morals and ethics, you can be in politics probably for 3 days, and then you have to quit because it's not possible otherwise.
Right, right, right.
Uh, so it's not. See, the point is, it's not for the fame. I mean, when I was in roadies, I was one of the four who didn't get voted off, along with Ran Vijay. Ran Vijay was with me in that season,
Right,
and Ran Vijay's father and his grandfather and his chacha all retired as lieutenant generals, and all three of them are Minerva Academy products.
right.
So he was going to go to the army, and he also said no. So all three of us were offered contracts. We had chances of becoming interns at MTV, and then me taking that life. But I really hated want even thought of going to Mumbai even then. So it was never my piece of cake, man. I never wanted to be in the limelight. I'd never wanted to have eyes on me in my personal life. Even though I'm talking about personal life, means I'm just relaxing at home, and I don't want to have any invasion of my privacy.
Right,
Even though there's nothing private happening, I'm still sitting in my pajamas and watching TV, but I don't want people to be looking at that and while I'm watching TV while sitting in my pajamas. So
right.
it's just a basic way of life which you take. And
Yep.
I really thought I'll be able to do justice from uh, same justice from behind all the rules. See, you when you get to these positions as a celebrity or as somebody in focus or in politics, which people want me to get into, especially in football side, to get as the president of the AIFF, I don't think you can make those many changes while being in the system. Then you can force those changes from outside. But
Right,
unless there's a guy outside, like for India right now, even if it doesn't matter what the government is doing, unless there's a strong opposition, the government is very dangerous. So unless you have a strong opposition, you need someone on your back to be telling you, even if it's right or wrong, that if you're doing something or not doing something, and forcing you to make changes. So I think it's better to be a force of nature from the outside and make those changes happen, because then you can actually listen to what actually is required to be done. Once you are at those positions, somehow I've seen you get really detached from reality, man. As a celebrity, as an officer, as a politician, as somebody in power, the moment that happens, somehow in India, you are totally far away from what the public
right.
really wants.
Right. I understand where you're getting from. Like when you get in the circle, it corrupts you in a way. But I believe with your sense of understanding and ethics, because you have had harsh experiences in life that have formed you and made you the person you are, and you got that discipline probably and the mindset that you can sustain even when you get inside. Do you believe at any point you could crack from the inside, like when you go inside and you can crack the system and change it because you can retain yourself?
See, we need again and again when I say it's not the job of the revolution can be started by one person, but it
Right.
can't be sustained. It can't be sustained by one person.
Right.
A revolution is revolution that one person stands up and everyone stands up with him.
Right.
So, being honest with you, 3 years ago, and we started 3 years ago. It was the I League and the ISL. I League was the top league of the country, which is run by AIFF, which is the All India Football Federation, and
Right.
owned by AIFF,
Right.
where we had qualified from the fourth division, then the third, then the second, then the I League, the top division, playing with Mohun Bagan, East Bengal clubs, which are 130 years old.
Right.
And we became the only team from Punjab 21 years after JCT was there that we became national champions in the seniors. So we were in the top league. And Mr. Ambani comes in 3 years ago and he says, no, my league called the ISL. I own this league privately and only my friends means he doesn't have any friends. Friends are the people who can pay him money. So, officially,
Yeah.
all the teams can pay him $2 million a year, can
Okay.
participate in ISL. If
Right.
you can't, you please play in your I League. But he made AIFF declare the ISL to be the top league of the country. That's like Ranji Trophy or IPL being owned by Ambani. So right now the football is owned by Ambani. So my fight was, how can a private person own the top league of a country?
Right. Right.
And the only way you should get into the top league of the country is by merit, not by paying money to a private person.
Right.
And who was the other part of the league? The broadcaster. So Star
Right.
Sports. So how do these leagues get big in Europe? From the broadcasters' money. That's never going to happen. All the money which is going to be made is going to be eaten up by Mr. Money or by the Star Sports people. It's
Right.
never going to come to Indian football. For example, IPL, all the money it makes is distributed through BCCI back to all the boards and back to all the grassroots cricket. That's why we do so well.
Right.
Whereas here, football will be big. All the money which it will make will not be going back to the grassroots. So we'll never get that big. So my fight was, how can this happen?
Right.
But what I got was from only football fans, not from the stakeholders, the other clubs. Yeah, there were 5 clubs with me, became 4, became 3, became 2, became 1. I was the only one left standing fighting
Right.
Mrs. Ambani.
Right.
And it was 3 years ago, and this was football. So it was an ominous sign of things to come. And now we can see, as we can see, it's not a money, it's basically corporatization of the entire thing
Right.
without looking at what has made us come so far. See, if we actually go for why the farmers are doing what they are doing, is they're saying free market, but the moment it's a free market, the farmers are dead because they will never get the same money. Why?
Right.
Because already, being honest with you, the farmers are getting double of what they should be getting because it's been going on for 100 years, 70 years, minimum support price.
MSP.
And
Yeah.
that's what they're fighting for. That means, what is minimum support price? It means that the total amount of money the farmers spent on getting the crop plus or a little profit, minimum profit which is there, that has to be there for the farmer.
Right.
And people don't realize that yes, it's commercialization, but the moment you do that, you are into a territory which is very, very dangerous. Then the subsidies go away for everything. Yes,
Right.
you have to take subsidies away, but you can't do it in this manner. That means you can't do it abruptly without asking the actual stakeholders for who the subsidy is meant for, that can we do this?
Right.
Because if that happens at this time in this country, I would say if the farmers stop producing food and they start dying and they start killing themselves, which they promise they will do, what will happen?
And also the big issue I find with this is like you can't make a blanket law for all kind of farmers because all farmers don't make the same crop and
See,
all farmers don't
exactly.
have the same land.
I would rather say you have a MSP for all small farmers,
Right.
and for all the big guys, the ones who have got over 50 acres, 100 acres, or whatever.
Future
Those
contracts.
guys, yeah, those guys can do whatever they want. But for the small guys, for the small players, you have to protect their rights. That
Right.
has to happen in a country where, see, if either you take the poverty rate so high, poverty rate so low that everyone can fend for themselves. When you know that if these guys don't get that, they are basically, you slip them back into the poverty. All the 30 to 40% people India has been able to raise above poverty in the last 15 years immediately will go below because this all the farmers you're talking about. Earlier, farmers used to come below the poverty line. Now
Right.
they come above the poverty line because of the MSP. People don't
Right.
realize that.
Right, right. I do understand the APMC and the middleman was a problem, but just like having like that abrupt law which caters to all states, because all states don't make fruits the same way. All crops are
You
not made
just need
everywhere.
to see, as long as you, if you talk to the state, that's what happened with us in football. Without talking to the guys who is going to affect I League
Right,
clubs, you relegated us for no
right,
fault of ours. We be off on the football field. We beat every ISL club. So it's a tournament called the Super Cup, which happens every year. All I League clubs beat ISL clubs. So on merit, we are better than them or equal to them. But you don't
right.
even talk to us and relegate us to second division because we don't have the money. It's the same thing which is happening to the farmers. You've got to talk to them. You've got to come up and listen to their problems and then come up with solution. If they are part of the solution, not then they won't be part of the problem. Right now, they're part of the problem because they were never part of the solution.
Right, right. And I see the only way to go about for the football club specifically talking would be get funding from another corporate to be able to play in those leagues and to be able to prove yourself. And that just puts
Exactly.
you like you have to
So
play by their rules then.
yes, but corporates don't do that. You know what corporates do? They don't care about football. They care about profits. So what
Right.
do corporates do? They form. Why should I make it like my team's name is Minerva Academy. So why
Yeah.
should I make Minerva so and so when so and so,
Right.
and I can just make it so and so. Why? Because it will cost me the same, probably less, and I can have my own team. So why do I
Right.
need them? Why
Right.
you need us? Because we are the ones who develop the grassroots. I have a under 5, under 7, under 9, under 12, under 13, under 18, under 19 team. You guys don't have fuck all.
Right.
So you develop the players.
Right.
Tomorrow you will make losses in your club because you're a corporate club. Corporate clubs close every single day because of losses. Clubs
Right.
which have been formed not for making money, clubs are formed because it's a passion of the owner or passion of the people or the community. They will
Right.
never close because of losses. They will go on. They will go to second division, but they're just not going to shut down one day. Whereas 10 ISL clubs started 10 years ago, 5 have shut down already, and
Right.
5 new cities have come in.
Right.
Right?
So
Because there is no base, they don't have any
right.
fans.
So
They nobody knows.
talk talking about something very interesting you just reminded me that I read about in the article was there was this in order to motivate your team you did a ritual of getting some of the teammates blood out and just promising that you're going to
My
get it.
blood.
Your
We
blood.
were playing Mohun Bagan. Okay? We were playing Mohun Bagan, and it was a title match. That means they were the other team in the race for the title.
Right,
And we were a minnow club. That means we were born 2 years ago. They were born 130 years ago, the oldest club in Asia.
right,
And we were playing in front of 70,000 people in the Eden Gardens. I mean, in YBK in Yuva Bharati in Calcutta with their
right,
supporters. All 69,999 probably supported Mohun Bagan that day.
right,
And I knew it that if with the crowd support, if this team gets on top of us, it'll be very difficult. So people never used to even think of no clubs. All clubs never used to think of going to Mohun Bagan and beating them. So the audacious thought came to my mind that we have to beat them. Otherwise, see, you make history by doing things which are not done before. Otherwise, it's not history. So I told the boys that you want to be legends, you want to be histories, make history today. You want to make sure that your name is in the history books of football forever. Forget about winning the title, you win this match. And for winning this match, all you have to do is run harder than them, faster than them, give more effort than them in the first 30 minutes. Get the goals and then just defend. And that's what they did. So to motivate them to get to that level, uh, we always had this chant called the Warriors chant. So
right,
we used to make them see the 300 movie and ask them then, what is your profession? And then all of them used to go, oh, oh, oh. And
yeah,
they couldn't believe that they're champions. Or and you ask them, who are we? And they used to all reply, champions. So
right.
getting the blood flowing and taking some blood from myself, putting it on the
Wow.
shirt, that we all blood, and we are
Sounds
now
like
warriors. We are
straight out
not
of a
football.
movie.
And
Yeah.
bro, it worked. Within 20 minutes, we were 2-0 up. We won that match 2-1. It worked.
Right, right, right. There's it's crazy how the human psyche just works and just ignites and the adrenaline starts running and the camaraderie is there.
Why you have to believe in yourself? I'm telling you, anything is possible.
Right,
We won 7 national titles. That means under 13, under 15, under 18, and senior. And we won them all in this under 13, 15, 18 senior in 1 year. So we were holding all titles in 1 year. In
right,
4 years, we won 7 titles here and 5 titles in the state. So it means we've been like winning a title in every second competition we go to. And are we the biggest club? No. Do we have the maximum money? No, we have the lowest budget in the country.
Right.
Are we the biggest club? No, we're the smallest club in the country. Are we the oldest club? No, we're the youngest club in the country.
Right.
But we still beat. Why? Because we believe in ourselves and we work hard every single day to prove
Right.
the other person wrong. See, talent is, I don't believe in talent. I believe in hard work. Hard work will beat talent every single day.
Right.
Every single day.
If you
Simple
outwork
as that.
someone.
You have to work harder than the talent. Simple as that. If the talent is working out 4 hours a day because he's talented, you fucking work out 12 hours a day. You'll definitely beat him, even though
Right.
he's talented.
Right. The same likes of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, Conor McGregor, all of those guys work
He,
hard.
I, they are freaks of nature, which come once in every 100 years, 50 years. So I would call Messi or Ronaldo that. No. Why? Because Messi's actually been playing football since the age of 5. People don't realize that. They keep on
Right.
saying he's a freak of nature. He's not. He's been playing since 5, so is Ronaldo.
Right.
And after putting in 8 hours a day for 15 years,
Right.
you're not a freak, man. It's all because of hard work.
You become a master after
Yeah, so
10,000
you will
hours
say if
on
he had not
anything.
played and he had joined Barcelona at the age of 30, he would have still played like that? No, he wouldn't have, man.
Yep. Yep. That's a
He's
waste of
playing like you or
potential.
me. Exactly. Same with Kobe had joined his team when he was like 22, 23, 24, and he never played basketball before that. 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day on the streets every single day, swearing it out. He wouldn't be Kobe Bryant.
Right.
So you become legends by making sure you work harder than everyone else.
Yeah.
Same
Putting in
with
the
Tendulkar wasn't born. Tendulkar wasn't born.
putting in the
Virat Kohli wasn't
repetitions.
born.
Putting in the repetitions. Grinding it, sharpening the iron every day. Correct.
And it's actually, I would say it's easier to reach there than stay there, because then you set a bar
Right.
and then you have to better yourself to stay there. You're
Right.
already champion. You have to better yourself because
Right.
somebody's coming for you.
The wolf
So
climbing
I
the
don't
hill is
think,
hungrier than the wolf on top. Yep.
exactly. I don't think you never relax. And
But
you relax.
isn't it scary that even when you reach on top, there's somebody trying to get the target is on your back and you just have to.
Otherwise, what's the fun? What's the fun if
Right.
you live a life which is all so comfy, and you live a life which is all safe, full of safety and protected? It's not a
Right.
life.
Yeah.
You're living a fairy tale,
I swear to
and that's
God.
not what
Yeah.
life is. I
I'll be
mean,
honest with you.
what would you, when you
I've
die,
yeah.
what would you say is your greatest moment? That you had a great life because you were very, very comfy in your life? No.
Because I went to
You think of
Goa and went on that yacht and had a lot of beer.
moments.
Right.
Life is all about moments. You have to think back and think, oh my God, let me tell you the moments of my life. And then you don't think about February of 2010 or 2010,
Right.
15, 20.
You see your life
You
in
think about
highlights.
exactly the highlight package. And that's what you're building up.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
I would never say flying first class would be in your highlight package probably once,
Right.
but never after that again and again. You understand? I'm not saying don't fly first class. Fly
Right.
it, bro, and it should be done once. Everything should be done once in life. But
Right.
that's not what your highlight package is. Flying first class or
Right.
living in a mansion which is worth 200 crores. Yeah,
Right.
go for it once. But after 5 days, if you live in it, it'll be the biggest pain in the ass, because it's not a home and it's not warm and it's so huge and it's like not it's living in a fucking hotel.
Right. Right. And that also brings me to the perspective that, when the destination is not that important as the entire journey itself, and the journey of grind is so important. Right.
It is the journey. That's life. Life is the journey.
You meet
And
people,
every
you
single
make
day you have
friends,
to.
you hustle, and there is so much satisfaction in beating your body on a daily basis and knowing that you're getting better. Yeah.
Yes. And
Right.
still knowing you can. I mean, if you still, as long as you're getting better, you're not getting older. You're getting younger because you're getting
Right.
better.
Right. And I think it's all about that mindset. You need to inculcate that mindset, and it all starts in the
And it's
self
not tough.
narration.
Why it's not tough? I mean, it looks tough. It's not tough as long as you get into a habit. It's like, again, it's like a habit.
Right.
And habits become easy. Habits
Right.
become easy because they're formed. They're formed because you do it on a daily basis.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what you are. You do it for a month, it'll become a habit.
Right. And people
So
don't
the only
remember.
difference,
Right, and people don't
Yes,
remember that it's the grind and it's the constant sweat and it's waking up at 6 and going after with the persistence and perseverance that gets you there. They see the result and they see how far the result, and that kills the motivation for a lot of people. That yeah, chand to main pahunch hi nahi paunga. Why should I even try? But they forget that it takes years and years of just sticking to that craft and sharpening that iron, and I believe like you said,
and
creating
the
habit.
difficult, more difficult the journey, it's actually
Right,
sweeter. And
right.
the more people you prove wrong is better. Even though, even see,
Yeah,
even though you're not doing it to prove them wrong, but at the end
right,
of the day, the ones who supported you are the ones who approved right. The ones who didn't, who doubted you, are the haters, and you do it for both. You just
right.
don't do it for the ones who support you.
One
You
becomes
actually do
family
it.
and the other becomes audience.
So they're both motivators, man. So they both are needed in your life. You need the haters and you need the supporters.
Yeah, the yin and the yang of life, they balance it out together, and that's how you grow. You don't just grow with love, you grow with hate. You grow with both the
And
sides of the
outside your
coin.
comfort zone and not comfortable and
Right,
being than what you were yesterday on a daily basis,
right,
never giving
right,
up.
right. And
So
so my
this is
question is, sorry to interrupt you there, but my
see,
question is to, because you're such a crazy is an understatement to say, like, crazy personality, motivating so many people. There have been people who know you and follow you with their heart. Okay, they believe in you, they believe in the ideology. I've seen your Josh talk and something resonates. But I want to tell you about, these are the people who are already motivated, already reaching out for Josh Talk, already saying, okay, I have the motivation. I want to listen to somebody much better than me. What about that person who's been slacking every day, having chips, having chocolates, always degrading himself to the point that he knows he has to get better, but he can't just get the courage to even
okay.
get on this
See, it's okay.
treadmill?
I tell you why it's totally okay. Why forgive yourself? Forgive
Right,
yourself because you're a human and humans make mistakes.
right,
And mistakes are proof you're trying. People who have not made any mistakes are not trying. I didn't say that. Albert Einstein said that. People who've not made any mistakes have never tried anything new
right,
at all, ever. And
right,
Einstein said that. Why? Because it's been proven in science now, and I'm saying it's been proven in life. So,
right,
see, mistakes are proof that you are actually giving a fuck, okay? Because you call it a mistake. Otherwise, you wouldn't be calling it a mistake. So, if you
right,
know you're making a mistake, that's good enough proof that you know that you're doing something wrong. No problem. The next step will come.
right,
And as long as you can see the next step coming, still at least you know that it's a mistake. The problem is with the guy who doesn't know it's a mistake and he keeps on eating the chips and he gets so fat, he's at 200 kgs and he keeps on eating more chips because he doesn't know it's a mistake.
right. It's just a
Because
very
he knows,
self-depreciating feeling that, I just can't stop. He knows that he's stopped enjoying the chips because it's a very self-deprecating activity, and he just can't bring himself to do something healthier because he
no,
just has
healthier.
given up. Just
I'm
given
not
up.
going to say that when you, yeah, I'm not going to say go eat cucumbers, okay? But, use the chips as a motivation. So I had this problem with
Right.
a particular type of ice cream, okay? And I just couldn't get enough of it. And it was really fucking my body up. And so I told myself that okay, fine. What you do is if every time you want to have a nice that ice cream, as many as you want, no problem. So you'll do 100 second planks for 10 minutes, 10 reps, okay, and then you
Right.
can have one ice cream. So
Wow.
either so it depends now what I want more in my life. So it's not that I didn't want the ice cream enough, I didn't do it. I did it. But I
Right.
did it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. But I never could do it that I could go and purge on 5 of them together. So the problem is about the 5 together, not the one which you've had after doing 100 seconds of planks.
Right. I see where you're aiming at. Correct. Like, it's just the inability to
So
stop
make that
yourself
into a
from.
good thing. Make
Right.
that into, don't try to stop yourself. Make that into a good thing. Challenge yourself. Okay, you want to have it,
Right.
have it. Do this and have it. You want to have it, man. Do this and have it.
Right. And then there'll come a
So
time when you'll
again,
become a
you want to
machine
be
and
rich in life. Yeah, you want to be rich in life. You can't keep on saying again. You want to wish that you stop having chips. Stop having chips. We're not doing anything about it. So
yeah.
you want to be rich. Work hard. 20 hours, 18 hours a day. You will be rich.
Right.
Simple.
And save enough money and invest and just do the things which are time tested. Just do it.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to be an
The basics
outlier.
are there. It's not rocket science. The basics
Right.
are there.
Right.
Work hard in your life. Be honest. And if you're better than what you were yesterday, that means you're improving. You will
Right.
go further as long as you're not giving up. You
Right.
never give up. Be better than what you were yesterday. You go for it.
Yeah, I understand majority of the people have like economic problems and socioeconomic backgrounds and like COVID happening and shit like that. But most of the issues people face on a daily basis are also based on ignorance and the lack to educate
So
themselves.
again, they need to know that is proof that whatever they've been going through is not as bad as somebody who's already been through it in the world millions
Right,
of times over. And they've got over it and they become superstars. So
right,
what's your
right. And
okay?
like I keep telling my
So
family as well.
I'm not trying to belittle anyone's problems, but the point is that no matter how bad the problems are, people have been through worse
Right,
in our human history. So it's
right,
not we're not asking you to do something which has never been done before. People have come out of it before. You've got to follow other people's advantage. It's just what I'm saying. I looked at that guy, and he was a world champion. He used to be a world class swimmer, and he used to be an expert cold water swimmer, and I was none of that. But I knew that I could do it, and I said, okay, I have to believe in myself, and it's a matter of 10, 11 seconds, and I
right,
know I can. So as long as this that guy came out alive, I can do it as well. And
right,
I did it because I believed in myself. You've got to have that one moment in your life where the switch comes on and say, I believe in myself, I can do this. I can do this. I can damn well do this. Once the
right,
switch comes on, nothing can stop you.
right,
There is a switch in your human body which says you can do it.
right,
And that is the switch which needs to happen. And it doesn't need to be on all the time. See, people think that you need to be a brave heart. You need to be brave all the time. No, you need to be brave when it requires to be brave.
right,
You're not Superman the whole day. You're
right,
Superman when you need it for that 1 minute when you're having that cold shower in the morning, like you said
right,
in the beginning of the
right,
podcast.
right. And like you said, like, like I wanted to tell you the last time when you were talking about, the human body is capable of so many things. I used to do mixed martial arts, okay, and I used to do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and in nearby club, and which is India's one of the best clubs, CrossFit Fight Train. I've had a podcast with the owner as well. He's a very great guy. And so some UFC aspirant gave me a Brazilian jiu-jitsu leg lock, and I tore my ACL and my MCL. Couldn't walk for 8 months straight. And everybody told me, when I went to base hospital, my dad, I was still under the ECG, and I went to the army doctors. They told me that you need a surgery, man. You'd probably never be able to walk straight, or if you want to be in athletics or run around or do like track workouts, you need a screw. I mean, you need a band for your ACL because it's torn and there's no blood supply to your cartilage, so it's not going to repair on its own. And I took it to myself, so I'll be honest. And I started doing that physiotherapy 3 times a day, 15 minutes each, started walking. In the next 8 months, I was walking. I did 5 kilometers. I was doing a marathon. And recently I finished a hell race in Manali, did a 30 kilometer in Solang Valley. And that just tells me the human
So, bro,
spirit. Right,
now difference between you and so many. Forget you. I'm talking about so many football players, athletes who I know.
right,
Difference uh, is that doctor tells you that, oh my god, you need to do this, and I don't think you can ever do it. He said, I don't think. He didn't say impossible for you. You can never do it. No, I don't think you can do it again. And some people say, oh fuck, the doctor said he knows more than me, so it's over for me.
right,
You took it. He said, I don't think. I'll prove you wrong. And your competition was who? Not the doctor. The competition was still with you, your own
right,
body.
right,
And I'm telling you, 90% of the battle is here, bro. Especially when you're recovering from an injury, is here.
right, right.
You are able to control your mind and just not really. I'm not saying you believe in it and you keep on really looking at
Right.
your
It's not
injuries.
no
Okay?
secret power of
No, man,
manifestation. It's
nothing.
not
I'm not
that.
talking about that bullshit. Okay, I'm not talking about
Right.
very energy is going to it. I'm talking
Right.
about believing in it and then working towards it, working towards your rehab. Fucking going 2 hours in the pool and working in rehab in the hydrotherapy pool, or
Right.
going to a physio for 3 hours every third day or second day, and then making
Right.
sure you're massaging the area, and then the exercises the doctor's given you doing 3 times the amount. Why? Because you know if that can make you strengthen, you can strengthen it 3 times the amount by doing three
Right.
times the number and get it that
Right.
much faster. So
Right.
if you believe in yourself, these are the things which happen. Then you actually do research. Okay, which are the fucking vitamins or minerals which I should have, which can heal injury faster? What are the
Right.
foods I should eat? Which are what are the sleeping position which I should be in, which is going to heal this injury faster? So
Right.
that's what I mean by believing in yourself.
Right. And when
That
I
you
took
can
it
do it.
took it on myself, and when I did not say that, a doctor is going to take care of me, he's going to give me some medicines, I said, okay, it's a learning edge. Now I have more time because I don't travel, I can't drive my car. I said, went to Google and researched, went to Quora, learned more, and I started eating clean. It put me in a better mental state. I started doing more push-ups and pull-ups if I couldn't do squats or deadlifts or running around. and I got my upper body
So
stronger. If I couldn't run, I
exactly. So
crawled.
you know
You
what I do here in the academy? So they have an ACL or an MCL. And so they said, okay, fine. I'm doing so I'm going to be doing a rehab, sir, for 2 months. Okay. I said, what? It's a left or right leg? It's a left leg. I go, what's happened to the right leg? He said, nothing, sir. So I go, what's this fucking excuse? I go, what about the core? What about the core? He said, nothing, sir. I do the
right,
core and upper body. Nothing, sir.
right,
Because
right,
every part of your body should be stronger by the time you work on that. Because see, when that thing comes off, the air cast comes off, you'll have to rehab on it and work on it. But then you'll only be working on that. Your upper body still be weak. Then you'll take
right,
2 more months to get fit.
right,
Whereas after you, if you're super fit by the time your rehab is done, then you only work on that, and upper body is just waiting for that thing to get okay. And
right,
because your upper body is like that, it's got the muscle memory. It's easier for the last muscle to catch on to that other muscle memory than it is to a body to make that muscle when other muscles are very weak.
right,
So it's
right.
making your muscles believe in it. What is
Yep.
muscle memory? Muscle memory is your muscle believing in itself that एक time पे मैं ये कुछ कर सकता था. That is
Big.
muscle memory.
Yeah, it shrinks and it can get it back because I was this and I have proved it to
Muscle
myself.
memory.
Right,
Yes.
right, right. That's correct. It's just putting in the reps, I believe, It's just putting in the hours right there and just believing and just doing everything. That's the way is made by people. They've already tried it. You just have to follow it and have the willingness. But I want to ask you a question. Like, you deal with athletes, you deal with celebrities too. You've dealt with politicians, I'm sure, corporate people. You've seen a lot of spheres of life. Would you say this is an acquired trait in this lifetime to have a mindset like that, or do you think genetically people are born with the indomitable will to
No, bro,
surpass?
no one is born with anything. I don't think anyone is born with anything. I tell my class the very first day when they come in,
Right,
because talking about officer-like qualities. So I tell you that some people think, I can never get this quality or that quality. No, man. सारे जितने भी हम सारे हैं, including you and me, हम सारे नंगे और गूंगे पैदा हुए हैं. फिर
right,
हंसते हैं नो हम नंगे पे हंसते हैं. फिर मैं पूछता हूँ साले क्यों साले सूट पहन के पैदा हुआ है? Then this is नहीं सर. तो हम सारे नंगे और गूंगे पैदा होते हैं. So speakers are also made,
right,
and there's no for that.
right,
And the same way, leaders are also made. They're not born. Leaders are never born. So
right,
leaders are made. That means it's on you whether you want to be that person. End of the day,
right,
because either Ashoka would have never been Buddha.
right,
He wouldn't have gone that way, na? If he was the worst person ever in the world, and then he
right. If you
becomes the
hadn't
best person.
killed all those people and women and children and realized by the bodies lying there that I've done something wrong,
That means his morals changed.
right? And you're never going
Morals
to
can
change if
change.
you don't try things. The neural networks that are created when
So
you try
I
different.
believe that you are formed by your experiences,
Right,
and you decide what you want to be.
right,
It's not by, yes, you probably by your circumstances you can be led towards one certain way, but it
right,
can't be that you are forced to be that way for the rest of your life. Once
right,
you're there and you know that it's wrong, you can change.
right,
Everyone can change.
right,
And once you see, if you, when I say about qualities like cooperation, these are leadership qualities. Your dad will know about them because
right.
this is what we
Yeah, I've
OMQs of
done MBA too, like bookish, I know.
leadership, cooperation,
Right,
sociability, stamina, endurance, presence of mind,
right,
courage.
right,
All these things are inculcated into you because of choice, not
right,
because of endurance.
right,
You can have stamina, endurance are physical qualities, and then you have the other moral and mental qualities like honesty and loyalty and leadership and cooperation and courage. These qualities are your choice. For example, you choose to be brave. It doesn't come in you.
right,
It's a choice you make. Suppose you're
right,
facing a deadly circumstance, you have a choice.
right,
That means either you choose to run away or to face or whatever. So that means you have a choice to be brave or to not to be brave or to be a coward, whatever. I mean, I'm talking about the armed forces sense. So to be brave and to be a coward, you have a
right,
choice.
right,
So it's an active choice you make in life,
right, right,
and you do it on a daily basis. But
right,
if you have some rules already set that these are my rules,
right,
then those choices become very easy.
right, right. A
There
lot
are
of
no
people,
choice.
a lot of people hate the monotony of life and they say, man, I don't want to schedule my week or my day in such a way that I already know what I'm going to do. I want to keep it
No,
a
no.
little more
So choices
spontaneous.
mean, so the life is going to be spontaneous.
Yeah,
But like, why do you decide that you don't want to murder people? Not
right,
only because of that I'll go to jail,
but also
Right.
because you are not brought up that way, or you don't want to kill people. You normal person doesn't want to go around hacking people to death.
Right. You just
A
value
normal,
life. Yeah.
yeah, only psychos want to do that, and psychos are stopped by 302, which is the murder charge.
Right.
Simple as that.
Right. Right.
But that is what I'm saying. You make choices in life, bro. You make choices where
Right.
you want to be good or you don't want to be good, and
Right.
you decide what's going to make you happy. So yes, there are a lot of people who think that money is you have to find your happiness. If money makes you happy, you to see what ultimately is giving you the joys of life and understand what joys of life are. So
Right.
some people actually realize it when they are on their deathbeds, that I wish in my life, instead of they don't look at when they're dying, oh fuck man, I'm so happy I've got 100 crores in my bank account. They're
Right.
fucking they're sad that I've got 100 crores in my bank account. I'm not going to be able to spend it. Some other asshole is going to spend my money. The
Right.
money which I have worked hard to spend
Right.
is somebody else.
Right.
So you never get happy. You get happy. Okay, my children are with me and they all love me very much. Or okay, I've had a great life. I have achieved so much and I've given so much to so many people. Yes, I
Right.
have now 5 crores left in my account, which my children are going to have. 95 crores I've given away to all the people, and there are 95,000 people who are very, very happy today because of me. So I've
Right.
done my thing. I'm dying a happy man. So again, the only person you can't lie, competition is you also, but the only
Right.
person you can't lie to in life is also yourself.
Right.
So when you
Self.
ask yourself, yeah, so
Yeah.
when you ask yourself certain questions, it doesn't matter what answer you give to them, you know what the right answer is.
Right.
End of the day, when life is over, or when you're old, you are going to have your own report card and you'll be answering yourself some. So I rather not have any regrets. That's how I live life.
Right.
So don't have any regrets
And you have
ever.
to know yourself, and you have to really dig deeper and take all of these experience as a way to give you a feedback of how you acted and how you feel about those experiences, so that you know what makes you happy, what makes you sad, and what breaks your confidence, what builds your confidence. And you do those activities and you time
and
it,
then use and then use that further
use
on
them.
to help.
Right. Right. And that's a very smart approach to life, by making notes, mental notes of what worked for you, what did not. And if that didn't work for you, what is the other approach I can do to
Why
get
do
that?
it again? Exactly, but why do it again? You know, and
Right.
when you learn, see, you learn. Humans can learn from other people's mistakes, but
Right.
humans always learn best from their own mistakes. But if you
Right.
don't learn from your own mistakes, that's when you're wrong.
You're going to
Once you
keep
make a
doing the
mistake,
same mistakes again, expecting different results, and you're in a circle.
then again, Einstein said that you try the same experiment again and again, and you get different results. Then
Right.
experiment is not wrong. You are wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah, you're not changing your approach to things. If you know that thing works, and if you're trying and you're failing, no problem. You knew one way that doesn't work. At least you know something. So I'd want to know, like, you're a super fit guy at 42, and a lot of Indians are not at the same level. What is like your go-to workout, like if you have like half an hour, 1 hour, or what's your daily workout like, or
Oh,
how you manage?
if I have around 20, 25, 30 minutes, I do the yo-yo test. The
Uh,
yo-yo intermittent test. It's the test I love doing with all my kids as well. It's the
right.
yo-yo intermittent test, which
Yo-yo
the Indian
intermittent
team,
test.
so the Indian team, a cricket team also does it. Their
Right.
level is 17.1, which they need to cross. The level for my World Cup batch, that's the batch which I'm preparing for the World Cup
Right.
2030
Right.
under
What
11s is 17.1 as well.
could you
That's
tell
what
me a
the
little
Indian.
about it? I mean, I can always Google it, but coming from you would be nice.
Yeah, those 20 meters separation, two cones are kept, and
Right.
then there's a beep. So you are supposed to complete the 20 meters within the beep time,
Right.
the two beeps, the one beep and then the second beep. Between the second beep, you're supposed to go to the cone and come back. So
Right.
what happens is, as the time goes on, it becomes faster. So the beep's duration is shorter. So you're supposed to keep, instead of like when you're getting more tired, you need to even speed up more. So that basically tells you where you are at your lactic acid threshold and your VO2 max capacity. And if someone is doing 21 or 20 on the yo-yo, he's exceptional. Normally, footballers should be doing 18 minimum. Normal footballers. I'm talking about European footballers should be doing 21, 22. My team is anywhere between 20 and 21. The armed forces, the special forces will also be 21, 22. So that's
Right.
elite fitness levels.
Right.
I I probably do it at 19.4, 19.5, which is still pretty good.
Right.
Um, then like I said, the Indian cricket team is 17.1. That is the threshold for the Indian cricket team. So
Right.
Depends on the sport you're playing. What we do is here for football. We also have a gym which has a CrossFit section. So some guys like to take that as an endurance sprint as well. Because see, in life, you're never gonna run 10 kilometers together. In
Right.
life, you're always gonna have either short sprints or short bursts of activity.
Right.
So I rather have a workout which is worked towards that, the high intensity, but with
HIIT.
intervals. Yes, HIT, exactly.
Right. 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 Makes sense. And you believe in resistance training as well to build strength. How much do you diet
I
in a week?
actually believe in more in resistance training and in core and balance workouts
Right.
that and in body weight training, self body weight training than using any kinds of weights whatsoever. Because
Right.
I think it's not natural. In
Right.
fact, you can build better best muscles by doing 100 squats than by doing 10 squats with weights on your legs because
Right.
it's not.
Right. I was back in the day when I was 18, 19, I used to go to the gym. 3 years I went and I made my body. I was a gold medalist at Mr. Haryana YMCA, and I had all
Okay.
those stretch
So, by
marks
the
and
way, so,
everything.
oh my God, yeah, exactly. I was going to say, see, what happens is that
Yeah.
you get this huge chest, and then after that, at some age, you stop working out. And when you stop
Right.
working out, huge chest muscles become breast muscles, okay? Because
Right.
you're not
Right.
working out. So the
Luckily,
fat
I
is
don't
still
have them
there.
right now. I'm super happy.
Thank
Right.
God.
I ran a bit so
Yeah,
that, my body just
yeah,
ate that fat
exactly.
up.
Because you ran them off. You ran the excess weight off.
Yeah.
So
Right.
see, okay, this is basic. Look at anyone who's lived to 110, 120, 130. Every day we see stories of these
Right.
people who will live that age. I
Right.
have never even seen one fat man live to 120 or 110 or 100 or 90.
Right.
Never
Right.
seen a fat man.
Right.
Never.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Why? Okay.
Obesity is a
See,
killer.
it's about what? It's about your organs. See, human organs are designed for a body which is around 60 to 70 kgs in the male form and 50 to 60 kgs in the female form. So if my heart is pumping blood to 120 kg fucking body, it's
Right.
obviously going to pump blood half the number of times. Why? It's a muscle. And muscles have durations. Depends on how. So if I have got 180 kgs, bro, and I'm 18, I'll have arthritis by the time I'm 25.
Right.
Because
Very,
my body's knees are so fucked, they're carrying 180 kgs on it every day.
right. Very good point.
Whereas, whereas if I am bloody 55 kgs, 60 kgs, my heart is pumping like this. Why?
Right.
Because it can do the entire body like that.
Right. Your heart becomes
And
weaker and it can't
same
pump to all
way,
the
the
muscles.
same way with the kidney, the same way with all the organs.
Right.
So I think obesity is the worst disease because it gives you diabetes, it gives you cancer, it gives you 90% of the diseases are lifestyle diseases.
Sure.
Lifestyle diseases are basically your weight is not in control.
And
And
all of those lifestyle diseases are choice-based diseases
choice.
on a daily basis. Correct. Correct. I mean, so many
See, if
things in your life can be sorted with the right mindset.
yeah, again, it comes to choices.
Right.
And you make
Right.
it every day. And
Right.
no one is asking you not to eat delicious stuff every single day. We are saying you eat it, you work it out, or you eat it once in a week, no problem.
Right.
Even the fittest people on the planet eat it once in a week. They can eat. So they say, that they say, oh my God, this guy can just go and eat anything. I don't want. I eat anything I want, bro. I eat anything I want,
Right.
but I work out for it.
You look like somebody
And,
who can eat anything you want to.
but bro, I actually changed that when because somebody showed me something which made sense. I watched Game Changers. It's a Netflix documentary.
Yep. I've seen that too.
So what I
Vegans.
did was, and I went vegan. And not only that, and for 40 years of my life, I've been a fucking voracious meat eater. And I used to live by meat. And that's
Right.
totally changed my thing. And on top of that, I'm a huge animal activist, okay? Animal lover. But
Right.
even that, I mean, the only look at me having a conflict of interest that I used to be okay in eating chickens, but I used to love dogs and every other animal there is.
Right.
But because that was always being brought up with eating chicken and living in Punjab. But so the documentary made logical sense to me. Not it didn't appeal to the heart. It appealed to the brain.
Right. Did you remember
Because
the
it
part
appealed
where-
to the heart earlier and it lost.
Yeah,
But
did
this
you
time it appealed to the brain,
right.
it won.
Right.
And
Right.
but it had to win only to get me to try it once, okay?
Okay.
But to make me keep on doing it, it had to prove it to me that it's right. I'm not just going to listen to any documentary and change my entire lifestyle.
Right.
So I saw my body on a daily basis. I saw that I'm pooping better, I'm sleeping better, and I'm working out better. I've got more stamina. I've got less pains in my body after a workout. That means I'm recovering faster.
Right.
Then, and during the workout, lactic acid is remaining lesser. That means I can come to know that instead of doing so many reps, I'm doing reps, and the only difference which has been is my diet. So you can see the proof in the pudding. And if you see the proof and you still don't change, then something wrong with you. And no one's asking. See, no one's asking you go vegan, go vegan. No, man. I'm not saying I'm 100% vegan. I do eat chicken once in 2-3 weeks when it's not avoidable and it's made in the house, or I go out in a party and there's nothing else available. I'm not saying, oh, dharm satya ho jayega. No, man, that's not
Right.
the
You don't have to be extremist with it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't. And to with anything. See, the moment you tell yourself, I'm not going to do this, it's being extremist. So then, but as a smoker, for example, I was a smoker, and as a smoker, I told myself, I'm not going to say I'm going to quit because I smoked for 20 years. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tell myself that I'll smoke once in a while when I feel like it. And that
Right.
helped me.
Right.
Less.
Right.
So there are times when I smoke, but then there are times I realize that I'm doing too much and I'm lying to myself and it's affecting my workout, and I stop for fucking 2 months.
Right. So you do the
But
cold turkey approach.
I have never told myself that I'm going to stop smoking, because then I
Right.
won't be able to do it. Because then I'll
That,
say, oh my God, what happened?
yeah.
I said, not, I'll do it when I feel like. That means it's my choice. My choice.
Yeah, yeah, because when you say that I'm not going to do it and you do it, that you fall from grace and you lose a little bit of yourself.
And
Right.
especially with youngsters these days, telling them that you can't do something is already against their thing.
Rebellious nature
It's
comes out.
already. So
Right.
it's the wrong way to make you stop doing anything.
Right.
I'll do it when I want to.
Taper it down maybe, or maybe give yourself a goal that I'm going to reduce it, but I'm going to still do it after I achieve
And
something.
so I'm gonna go for a 5 kilometer jog and then have a smoke. And
Right.
trust me, when you come for a 5 kilometer jog, you don't
You
feel
don't
like
feel like you don't feel like ever doing it because your body's
so.
full of
See,
endorphins.
again, motivate yourself, and it'll happen automatically.
Right. Right. That makes sense. So, tell me 5 of the things that are most important to you. Like after all your experiences, what are the 5 things you hold very dear to yourself?
Um, Bro, my experience in the mountains, definitely.
Right.
My experience in going to jail, that was a life changer as well.
Right.
My experience playing for India, wearing the India colors, that's really special to me. That's
Right.
where all the football and everything and giving back to the football started.
Right.
My general, not one experience, but so many experiences put together, generally in love with the armed forces, and that's being my first love always, and always my first thought in my mind is all my boys who are in the front and uh, who
Right.
are serving our country right now, and we are sitting here and being
Right.
able to have this conversation.
Right.
And probably the fifth thing, so they're not more than moments, they are probably more than the things I've done. So my shelter for my dogs, which I've been able to do, that means I actually believe humans' best friends are dogs. So,
Correct.
and we
Mark
need
Twain
to
said
learn
it.
to,
If there is a heaven, I'd like to go to a dog's heaven, not a human's heaven. Yeah.
definitely any day I would. That's why I love Mark Twain. He comes up with fantastic things. Man. Oscar Wilde and Mark Twain both are fantastic. Man. The things
Right.
they come up
Right. Who's the author of 1984? Is it Oscar Wilde? If
with.
you read the book 1984, Big Brother is always watching you, the surveillance thing he wrote in.
That is, I think, the other one. That's a sci-fi writer.
Yeah, it's sci-fi.
That Wells. That's Orgy Wells or something like that. Isn't
Uh,
that the same guy who wrote?
Animal Farm.
Uh,
Animal Farm
yeah,
guy.
yeah. But
Uh,
that's not the other guy.
1984. I'll just do George Orwell.
Yeah, that's Orwell. Yeah, that's
Orwell.
Orwell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just said Orwell. Click me. I've read that book.
He's a really funny guy. You should read some of his quotes, and you'll find them. Just enter quotes by Oscar Wilde, and you'll find them as good and hilarious as Mark Twain. And he hits the
Right.
nail on the head every single
Right.
time.
Right. Like we're just talking about books, so I actually had that 4 questions I want to ask you, and I see some books right behind you. Couple of books that you'd recommend to any generation, any people that motivated you, and you feel like could get a paradigm shift in personality, mindset.
See, bro. Again, I've read so many autobiographies, but
Right,
I would recommend people to read them, but never follow them. Why?
right, right,
I'm talking about even
Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi or whatever. They
Right.
may have been people in their own thing, but they were all formed by their own circumstances.
Right.
So you can never ever think of doing what they did or comparing yourself to them
Yeah.
because everything was different.
Right.
You
Times
got
were
to.
different. Oppression was different. Yep.
I go on reading books again rather for self improvement. So that's all I do all day, and
Same.
especially football books.
Right.
Uh, there's one book by the Secret Footballer, which is really the favorite one, which is right now.
Right.
Then Alex Ferguson, which is Manu's thing, which I read for management, for
Right.
learning trick management. I
Right.
learned from Alex Ferguson's reading.
Right.
Then there's this book by the Indian Armed Forces, the Navy SEALs of the Navy SEALs of the Indian Armed Forces, the Marcos Commandos.
Right.
There's a book, and then the Garud Commandos, and then this Fearless by Shivaroon. That's one of my favorite two books, the Fearless one and Fearless two.
Right.
So basically, books which get me to better myself in any way or to follow one of my passions. So, like in football, yesterday I was reading Cruyff, Johan Cruyff, one of the best founders of football.
All right.
I am a very avid book reader. I finish probably, if I buy a book, I'll finish it in 2 days.
Right.
But I am not a book follower, if you know what I mean.
No, you could elaborate a bit, then I'll know.
So I am not a guy who will change my life by reading somebody else's life
Right.
experience.
Right. Makes sense.
But I'll probably try it. If I have to do something, I'll try it out for myself and see the results and then
Right.
adapt and
Take the
adopt.
best parts that make sense. They take the parts that don't make sense, but still.
Exactly. Not just because somebody said it's right and it worked for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
it worked for him. He's not lying, but it might not work for me. So instead of just
Right.
trying it out, actually making sure it fits you.
Right. Right. That's like you said earlier. Like human beings can learn from other people's behaviors, but they can't make
Learn
their life
from
life.
their own mistakes. They
Uh,
learn best from their own mistakes.
Best from your own mistakes. Like we can know that if you go touch fire, you're gonna burn yourself. But
There's no human being who's not touched fire. Then still,
right. Right.
there's
You'd
no
always
human
do that.
being. There's no human being who's not got burnt till now.
Right.
Every human being knows you're going to get burned by the fire, but somehow in life,
Unless you're
sometimes
Ambani's son and born with a silver spoon with like.
no, trust me, he's been burnt because with the full jodi, he's been playing some of his life, and he's known that basically when being burnt means that you got
Right. Right.
burnt by the fire.
It's a very primitive thing to just have. It's just like taking a shower. Like you'll feel
And
cold.
once it happens to you, then you're fucking super careful. Not by
Right.
listening to me.
Right. Makes sense. Some of the books, like it could be like a couple of my friends who listen to this. Like Hitler's autobiography made a huge impact on me. I'd be honest. Like Mein Kampf, and when I read it, like
My life.
yeah, and my life, and when I read it, I realized like whatever activities he did were horrific and horrendous, but that man had a mindset, man, and that said, if you have a problem and if you have a solution, why worry? You have a solution. But if you have a problem and there's no solution, why worry? Change the problem.
That's a great way of looking at things, but
Yeah.
he had a solution for every problem. The final solution was not a great solution.
Incarceration of an entire race for the betterment of fatherland. It's just a crazy psychopath, man, and pretty hypocritical too. At the end of his life, he married a Jew as well in his bunkers. That's pretty crazy. Some of the personalities, what would you say somebody who's inspired you though? Some people, apart from football, because I know very less about football. I'm a UFC guy, I'm a mixed martial art.
Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Kobe Bryant. Muhammad Ali.
Right. Correct.
Probably here in India, I would say Balbir Singh Sidhu, who
Correct.
is probably India's only triple Olympic gold medalist.
Right.
He was one of the hockey teams and he was the captain for 3 years, and that's when we were ruling over hockey.
Right.
And or Dhyan Chand, probably,
Right.
as a sportsman, Dhyan Chand, more than any other footballers, because see, he was a world beater. So when I'm talking about Muhammad Ali, and Dhyan Chand was in the same league as Muhammad Ali.
Right. Makes sense. And what about any of the current guys who's still alive, who you say, or there's no mortal that you look up to anymore?
Oh, see, being honest with you, it's not about being they're mortals that I look up to them. It's about what they have proven to the world.
Right.
So ones who are still alive are still proving, and I don't think they should be judged for whatever they've done till now, till the time stops.
For example, I don't want people like for you. You said great going, but I don't want you to judge me now because I'm still going.
Right, right,
Judge,
right,
judge me when I'm over. So I'll judge
right,
them when they're over.
right, right. We'll judge you and probably have everything written down on your epitaph, on your tombstone, and said,
Yeah, exactly.
this one
So
stone is not
this
enough.
man,
Get writing on the
this
backside of it, on get more
But
stones slashed.
trust me, that will be like the back part of the continued backside of the epitaph.
Right, right, or maybe see on the defunct Instagram page. So it was a pleasure
Great
speaking to
talk.
you. It was a
Great,
pleasure
great
speaking to
speaking.
you, right? And I hope wish you well, and I hope you maintain the zeal, and I'm sure you will do that. And I hope a lot of people get in touch with you and learn from your mindset
It
and
will be my
keep
pleasure, bro.
inspiring.
I'm always here for everyone who wants to better themselves and learn from me or even take advice. I'm always here.
Right,
I've proven to the whole world that it's possible to achieve the impossible even after from the age of 32. That I keep on telling my students that all my life's real achievements, from being a scuba diver to being a mountaineer to being a skydiver to being trained in the armed forces or being roadies or being the manager of the Indian senior cricket team, which people don't know about, and then it's all after the age of 32, man.
right,
So
right.
anything is possible.
Iron
So I'm
Man, dude,
always here for everybody, and thank you so much for having me.
for
and
sure.
please do give my regards to your dad and tell him that we do miss him. He has to make sure that he comes over to Minerva and has a cup of coffee with all the staff here.
Sure, sir, sure. And I
And
hope to
obviously, you are
meet you too.
invited as well. Now you have to leave as well. Come
Sure.
as
I
well.
hope to
Yeah.
meet you and have a workout with you as well someday.
It'll be my pleasure, my brother.
All right,
Brilliant.
sir. Have a great
Take
day
care, my
and
brother. Bye.
bye. Take care. See you.